This is a quick video for Soul Leader episode 10, 11, 12, and 13. Click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction to it for both Google Drive and Vidme. I hope either one works for you. So click away now or be spoiled as to what happened in these episodes. Okay, so joining me today, like always, is good old Try. And he tried making fun of me because I had to like restart this intro like 3 times. Well, no, this is the third time, so I guess third time's a charm. It was a good group episodes. I loved the first 2 episodes. With Tsubaki and her kind of backstory and that kind of thing. That was really awesome. I'm glad to also see some more stuff with the good old Snake Lady. Medusa and the Witches' Council and such. Saw a little bit about the head witch. Not too much on her, other than she like lost her eye. Don't know anything about her. We also got to see the Wolfman, who is apparently immortal. I'm wondering if they're gonna do the whole thing about like silver kind of thing to kill the Wolfman. I'm wondering if that is still, if they're going to incorporate that kind of style or that hindrance, that whatever weakness from the actual story to him kind of thing. Like that was the whole, well, I mean, I guess the Wolfman in particular didn't really have a weakness to silver, was it? It was a different kind of wolf that really had that. It was like the, crap, I can't remember which story it was, that with the silver, like the silver bullet or, you know, whatever, like the silver whatever is like able to kill like this werewolf kind of guy. I'm not sure if it's like the werewolf like this guy's like based off of, or if it's a different one. I don't know. But anyways, it was a cool thing to see Tsubaki's backstory and like her brother and everything. That was really interesting. I was thinking it was gonna be one of her family members or something like that. I didn't. I did actually like, expect it to be her brother, but I wasn't like 100% on it. I was thinking maybe like kind of first love kind of thing as children, or possibly dad or family member, cousin, that kind of thing. I did say brother when I was like talking about it in my reaction, but it wasn't really like solid in my mind like it's her brother kind of thing. Like I was kind of like a just thrown out idea kind of thing. But it's interesting that like I like the backstory for her because like her parents die from some unknown reason, we're not sure, and then Tsubaki gets passed down all of the weapon transformation magic, whatever we call it. So she's able to transform into double-bladed, or not double-bladed, but like the dual blade kind of Reaper handheld weapons. Not sure what exactly they're called, but with a chain like going across them kind of thing. And then the big disc, yeah, the chain sights. There you go. The big kind of circle disc thing, as well as the little short blade, ninja blade kind of thing. And what else was she able to do? I think she was able to do something else besides those 3. I think there might have been one more that I'm missing. Her weapons transformations. I feel like that's all of them, but I feel like there's one more that I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, she's able to do all this kind of stuff because her parents kind of gave her the ability because she was apparently the strongest one of the siblings. She was the one to inherit the ability to do those transformations and all kind of stuff. And then her brother got the ability to transform / whatever, the ability to have this enchanted sword. So he took that and decided to basically wreak havoc on his own. Like, it probably didn't happen right away. It happened probably like, you know, a couple years later, but like that, like after the parents have kind of gone away for a while and everything kind of settled down or whatever. That's when ideas probably got thrown into his head. Like I can have more power. I can do more with what I have, kind of thing. and hence why he became sort of like almost a Kishin egg, or soul, whatever you want to call it. I keep saying egg. Have they ever said egg in the show? I can't remember if that's my mind playing tricks on me. Okay, so they do call it Kishin eggs. I keep forgetting like if my mind is saying egg or the actual show is saying egg. Um, but anyways, so yeah, so her brother became, or yeah, her brother was almost on his way to, or whatever, becoming a Kishin. So she went to go stop him. Death allowed it, kind of thing, and Blackstar was there to kind of support her in her journey to do so. Um, it was pretty interesting to see Blackstar actually like legit like serious like in that entire moment. Like obviously he has little quirks here and there where he's like, still spouting about like being a big star and everything, but like he's still there for her. Like it's her mission. Yeah. Hashtag character development. Um I did find it very odd, that episode with the citizens. Um it just, for some reason, it just irks me in a wrong way. Like I know for like I'm not doubting the fact that they are grieving and they want revenge, all this kind of stuff on the star assassins, or whatever they call them, the Black Star assassins, whatever. Um, they wanted revenge because they killed a lot of their people, kind of thing. The boy had his parents die from the star assassins. All this kind of stuff. I'm well aware of that. Like that's like a thing that they would want. But Blackstar was literally just sitting on the ground, not paying them any mind, and there's like four people. Well, I started off as one, then two, then four, just sitting there beating him, just like beating him over and over and over again. Like that, for some reason, just irked me in a weird way. Like he's not fighting back, and he's just sitting there taking it, and like they're still hitting him. Like at some point, they should be afraid, like that he's not like it's not bothering him that he's getting beaten up, kind of thing. Well, I hated the Exceeds because they. Well, I'm not gonna get into it because it's not a fairy tale thing, but it was for a different reason why I hated the Exceeds. Kind of similar, I guess, in a way, but more because like in this instance with these villagers, I can understand their hatred, and I can understand why they were beating Black Star and doing that. Um, but this the way how they kept beating in a way defenseless unarmed person, right? Like they were just sitting there beating him like over and over with like sticks and all this stuff. The X seeds were only rocks, like a couple like well, everyone was throwing rocks, but both sides, the villagers and Soul Eater and X seeds were all throwing rocks too as well. Especially that one girl in Soul Eater with the boulder, just like picking the boulder up and about to throw it. But just I don't know, just for some reason it really irked me how the villagers did that. Like they were like to some degree they've all had to be somewhat logical in some sense, right? They would see that he's not like affected by them hitting him over and over again, to the point where if I was in their case, I would be freaking out that he's not like worried or anything of that I'm beating him over the head like with a stick or something like that, right? So like if I look down and I'm beating this guy like maybe like 5 times or whatever, I'm seeing it's not affecting him one bit and he does not care, I'd be freaking out and I'd be like backing up, being like, okay, we should probably not mess with this guy. But they were just sitting there pummeling him for like who knows how long. Like I'm not even sure how long that battle took place in real time. We probably only saw like the cliff notes of like what happened or whatever. It might have taken hours. It might have taken minutes. Who knows? Maybe a hour. I'm not sure. But he was getting beaten the entire time. And then while he was getting up to leave or whatever, that one guy beat him over the head again. And then like that's when Black Star like kind of punched him out of the way, kind of thing, because he was done protecting Tsubaki. Um, I liked how he dealt with the person who was about to attack Sabaki, which again irked me in the wrong way because a defenseless. Well, I mean, she had a sword in her hand, but um, a not moving person who looks almost dead or passed out or whatever, and he's just gonna sit there and beat her like to death or whatever because like apparently he thought he was part or she was part of Black Star's like Assassin's game because she has the star on her jackets and stuff. But I don't know. The whole village is, I don't know. It just irked me the wrong way. Anyways, it was a cool kind of thing to see the inner workings of how a weapon slash weapon fight each other within their souls, like the kind of like spirit realm sort of like place they were in, like really cool. Sorry, I need to drink. It was really cool to see that how it happened and everything like that. I'm glad Tsubaki's okay because in the spirit realm slash like weapon world, whatever, she was stabbed like through the chest, like straight through the chest. Also cuts all over her arms and her body, basically, just like, hack and slash kind of way. I think in the head too. No, I don't think in the head. Maybe like, well, maybe like a little blood through the head. I think it was she had. But yeah, she was messed up in the actual weapon world. But when she got out of it, she was fine. Her outside body is just fine. So that's kind of just like I guess, an indication about your soul strength. Like the more damage you take, like the blood or whatever spooling out of you inside the weapon world, is like helps indicate like how weakened you are. Your soul is how weakened it is. So I'm wondering if we're ever going to see any more battles like that take place in the weapons world. Whatever, like within their souls kind of thing, like souls fighting each other. It's a very cool concept, like how that whole battle took place and everything. But yeah, Tsubaki's brother is pretty cool. Or I should say powerful. He can literally take over the host's soul and basically puppet it. It's like he's like a puppeteer. I was actually wondering if his name is like a reference to like a puppeteer, like in our world, much like like Jack the Ripper and all kind of stuff. Like I'm wondering if Tsubaki's brother, I wonder if his name sort of relates slash hints at a famous like puppeteer person. Like I'm hardcore wondering that. I'm wondering if like a lot of characters in the show, obviously they're all references to something, but like Stein, of course, is Frankenstein. Death is death, that kind of thing. Uh, it'll be interesting to if that is the case, because I don't know personally any kind of puppeteers. I feel like there was one story like back in the day where one puppeteer kind of went crazy and started killing people like a mass murderer, but I feel like that might have been just a story. Masamune, also known as, I'm going to try to pronounce that one, is widely recognized as Japan's greatest swordsmith. Swordsmith. Okay. Interesting. So nothing to do with puppets, I guess, then. So he's just a swordsman. Well, that's still cool, though. How he has some, real life basis to kind of work off of. That's cool. So yeah, what else happened? We saw the kids actually be a little afraid or whatever for Tsubaki and Black Sword on their mission, going to Death's room to like look at the whole thing as it takes place, kind of thing. What else? There's something else Snap said. Their new weapon mode is really cool. Sadly, Black Star can currently only do it for like 10 seconds. But from what Maka was seeing, like his soul, his soul aura, whatever, his soul size is very big, huge. So it's compared to like in pasts when we've seen their soul and everything, it's just like a little tiny thing like this, like on my screen, this little tiny one. But I guess when they get more power and more power and more power and more power, it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing, which is really cool. We also got to see the Wolfman's Free. We got to see his soul aura as well from Maka's eyes. Um, it's interesting that Maka's the only one who can do it. Like I'm surprised Blackstar can't do that. But I guess Blackstar, in some degree, hasn't even tried. like, I don't think he's ever like sat down and just like sat there and tried, because it seems like you do have to kind of like, in a way, meditate to in order to see the souls, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's interesting to see how that plays out and how long it takes them in order for Soul and Tsubaki to become. Oh, sorry, not Soul. Blackstar and Tsubaki to become melded together again, so that way they can do the enchanted sword longer than 10 seconds, like for a full fight. You know, basically like a full however long fight, like just like unhindered fighting with the enchanted sword. So I think that sword is probably going to be, in a way, their trump card. Like they're ace in the hole, right? Like when they want to win, they switch to that weapon and they go ham with it. Um, it seems like as of right now, the other weapon styles that Tsubaki can transform into, Blackstar can still use those, I would assume, unhindered, but it's only the enchanted sword that is a problem, right now, anyways. So I'm wondering if it's like, because that's what I'm like hardcore wondering right now, is if it's only the enchanted sword that's having problems melding well together, or is it every weapon, because Tsubaki melded with her brother, or kind of like, inherited the enchanted sword ability from her brother. Um, that's kind of what I'm wondering, like if she can still use her other weapons like with Blackstar and not have a problem, or is that all hindered too because her wavelength is all different now than before. I don't know. I would suspect it would probably be just the enchanted sword that's the problem. Um, but yeah, we got to see some really cool stuff with Medusa and you know getting into the whole witch's lair and seeing more witches, that kind of thing. We got to see the little girl witch again, with her guardian. Um, got to see a frog and a mouse, as well as Medusa the snake. I like how they're all kind of following some kind of theme, like with animals traits, kind of thing. So like the frog was, see, okay, that like looking at now, like I'm a hardcore suspicious of Blair, like 100% now, because like Medusa's all about snakes, that kind of thing. Um, the frog girl can transform into a frog. Medusa can't. I don't think she can transform into a snake, but she's got snakes with her. Anyways, the mouse lady, she can transform into a mouse. We didn't see it, but we know she can. Um, so that makes me hardcore suspicious of Blair, because Blair can transform into a cat, and I don't know, because like I feel like the whole point of Blair, like at the very beginning, was to kind of snuff out any ideas that she was a witch. But again, it could be all a ploy. She could genuinely be a witch, just saying that she's only a cat, like as like a divert everyone's attention kind of thing. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I could just be skeptic right now, but I am hardcore like suspecting Blair right now, like because the beginning of the first like couple episodes or whatever of the show said that she was a witch, but then turned out that she was just a cat kind of thing, and she had nine lives, and Soul ate one of her lives, leaving her with eight kind of thing. But at the same time, uh, well, they did kill Blair in episode one and ate one of her. So yes, that's what I was saying. Yeah, she had nine lives. That's how she was saying it, and she effectively, got her soul eating eight. Yes, and then she had eight left, um, or eight lives left. But I, at the same time, like I'm a hardcore skeptic. I'm like a hardcore skeptic because like There's a frog witch, and she can transform into a frog whenever she wants to. There's a mouse witch, and she can transform into a mouse whenever she wants to. Who's to say that Blair is not a cat witch and can transform into a cat whenever she wants to? But again, like the show, the show kind of just in a way put that out of our minds, kind of thing. But again, like it would be a great freaking plot twist, a great freaking plot twist if Blair turns to be a hardcore like witch, um, and like for whatever reason it's revealed that she's a witch and she was doing a ploy, some kind of like magical thing to like give herself like 9 lives, or if she genuinely has 9 lives, just as being like some kind of cat aspect kind of person, or what have you, whatever. It would be a great freaking plot twist if that were the case. But because right now Blair is inside the enemy's domain. Like she's in the rooms with them, like talking with the enemy basically. So like if she was a witch, like she'd have some really great intel like about what's happening. It's like she was even in the room with Maka, when in the schoolroom when Stein was giving the special lesson to Blackstar, freaking Blair was on Maka's back, like on her shoulder. I mean, like listening in on the entire thing that was happening. So like stuff like that, like she's been listening in, like all this kind of stuff. So if she was like a witch, like she'd have like the ultimate like information gathering like traits and that kind of thing. I don't know. Again, it could be that she's not a witch and she's just a cat kind of thing. I don't know. But it would be a great freaking plot twist if she was genuinely some kind of like witch informant to kind of like get some information for the witch's side. But yeah, it was cool to see the fight between the frog slash mouse, or yeah, frog mouse versus Medusa in the alleyway. That was really cool. It was really cool to see the witches' auras get like released in a way, like the magical barriers, like they're protecting themselves, get released. And the frog and mouse releasing theirs. Medusa never released hers. She used the snakes that she put into their bodies previously to deal with them, and she never had to deal any magical damage to them, which is really really cool. I do really like her style, her magic style. The whole snake thing and everything. It's really creepy to look at her arm like mutate and twist and like kind of stuff like that. Like it's like there's something in her arm. But it's a cool magic style. Like it's like controlling snakes or whatever like that. And her tattoo is a snake. It's like got its mind of its own. It's its own magic. It's the snake has its own magic. Like that's freaking awesome. So yeah, overall, like she's my favorite villain that the show have shown us so far. Like some of the other villains came close, I guess, sort of, kind of, maybe. But ultimately, yeah, Medusa's my favorite villain so far. Um, the one that came close was probably, I don't know, slightly Ragnarok. Like in a way, slightly. Like I say slightly because I don't like his out of combat personality. I guess like in combat personality he's kind of like crap too as well. But the whole point about him being like almost invincible and like being like liquid, like inside the person's body kind of thing, like that's like a cool kind of concept. But his actual like personality is the thing that like really throws me off as like him being my favorite. Anyways, Medusa's my favorite villain by far. And her like still being hidden. Oh my god, Stein like was like on the nose. Like he's like they could genuinely be infiltrating the academy, and they could be like with us right now. And then she's like just kind of like hardcore glaring at him from like her corner of her eye. That was freaking awesome. I hardcore wonder if he knows or not. Whether Medusa is a witch or not. but again, he fought one-on-one with Ragnarok and the kid, and was near the witch. So you would think at this point he'd show something towards Medusa being the witch, but they were so far away. I'm sure. I don't know if Medusa slips up once, just one single slip up. I'm sure Stein can put the pieces together and just go for it, kind of thing. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. Is there anything I missed in these episodes? I feel like I missed one small thing or something else. I did miss something. Okay, what did I miss? The ending of the set. Ending of the set. What happened to the ending? Let me jump back here. I had the episode still pulled up. Wolfman jumping in the river? Or like... Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Medusa... Or sorry, not Medusa. Maka is has the black blood in her now. I'm wondering if that is because she started to meld with Soul again, like they used to, kind of thing. But because Soul is turning into like this kind of, or I guess not turning, but has black blood in him, I'm wondering if because they melded again, that sort of black blood sort of stuff transferred to her. And in my reaction, I was thinking that the little devil guy that Soul was seeing, I thought that was maybe the idea of Maka, like in his mind, telling him what to do, all this kind of stuff. So I thought that was his idea of Maka, but then I remembered that the black blood sort of like goes against like the holder's will. It seems like it's like you can't control it. So it's like whatever the black blood's doing, it's like it's trying to gain control of Soul. So then I realized the devil guy, whatever, has to be the black blood, like inside his body, and he's like talking to it, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean that's really interesting. I'm hardcore interested to see what happens there. It was really interesting to see Maka and Soul effectively burn themselves. Well, I guess not only Maka burned herself, but trying to pick up Soul, kind of thing. Like their wavelengths are all like off and everything. I feel like that session that they did with the candles and everything really kind of in a way backfired. I feel like they have to go back there and do another session, and instead of doing hatred, they do something nice, or right? What are the 5 things you like about your partner, or something like that, like just to kind of get them in that kind of mind frame. But I don't know. I feel like if anything, they have to work it out themselves. But ultimately, that black blood is a problem. It's got to be 100% the problem that they have to deal with. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next with black blood and everything with Maka. Yeah, I hope we get an extra episode with more Liz and Patty. It was cool to see them again, and Kid as well. I hope we get to go on a mission with them. Hunting souls and that kind of thing. I wonder what number they're at, Liz and Patty, in terms of souls collected. Because I know they have to be even in terms of the souls given to them. Otherwise, Kid will be just freaking out. But I'm wondering like what the number is. Like, are they halfway through? Like both of them? Are they like a quarter way through? Or are they almost there? Like I'm wondering like what the process is with them two. In terms of how many souls they collected and how far they have to go to become death weapons, kind of thing. So yeah, that's gonna be it. If that is everything in these episodes, I believe that's everything. I mentally go back in these episodes. Yes. Well, Free, the guy Free, him using magic is pretty interesting. Ice magic, I think, is like the only thing he's used so far. I'm wondering if he has other magic, or is this the only magic he has, like ice powers kind of thing. Um, Very interesting to see if he has any more. But him launching himself into the river, uh, or he didn't launch himself. Maka launched him into the river. But Blackstar cut off his arm basically. So I'm wondering if his arm's gonna grow back or if he something. I don't know. The arm was grabbing Maka, so I'm wondering if the arm is still there, like the Wolfman's arm, or do they toss it in the river too, kind of thing. I don't know. But he froze himself on the way down accidentally because he was planning on doing it below him so that he can kick off the ice and go up top and go fight them again. But he froze himself. But I guess that's all Medusa wanted to do was entice a fight within the kids, so that way that she can see how well her experiment is working out. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens next. Definitely 100%. So yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for some more Soul Eater. It's going to be episode 14, 15, and 16, including the ending we get to watch as well. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next reaction. Take care, everybody.